Yo, what's up? What's up?
Yo, what's up?
Back with another episode of our
Another one.
Mandalorian recap. We are in season 2. This is the second episode, chapter 10,
Mm-hmm.
The Passenger. JBM, how you doing this week?
I'm good. I'm on a trip out in the mountains right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's been a long day. If I sound a little sinuses is kicking in, it's maybe a little elevation.
Sound a little sinus.
Yeah.
Got a little congested. The altitude.
Man.
Altitude getting them, man. That's what's up, though. That's what's up.
Yeah, I got a lazy eye. It's past 10 o'clock. Y'all see that? Oh, God.
Oh man, back with another episode, man. I'm glad to be back. Been a quite a week.
Yeah.
Here there's an event going on in the States around counting.
Yeah, same story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, tired of it.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a nice break. We're getting away from all that
Man.
nonsense, man.
Talk some fantasy stuff here, some Star Wars.
Yeah. So what were your overall thoughts on this episode?
I was expecting to see Boba in this episode, and I didn't. So I was a little disappointed, but overall I liked the episode. I thought it was I didn't think it moved the story forward at all, but it was just a cool little break to see something out there in the universe. They covered this story with the spiders. We'll get into all of that too, but yeah, that whole spider's nest was crazy. Yeah,
I think I'd probably give it the same. I think if I had to rank it out of 10, it's probably like a 6.57, somewhere in that range.
Ooh, 6.57.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it's a bad
6.57. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad episode. It was entertaining, and it wasn't compared to it's definitely a filler episode, but compared to the season 1 filler episodes, it's like 10 times more exciting.
Yeah. It felt like a true filler.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like it was a throwaway either. Like I still
it's more like a
felt
setup.
It's a setup, exactly. That's where I'm at with it. Hey, Mom, what's going on? Yeah,
what's
spiders.
happening?
We definitely gonna talk about that because the spiders are interesting.
Yeah, spiders was probably the most exhilarating moment.
Yeah. What was your favorite moment in the episode?
Favorite moment in the episode. Let's see. My favorite moment. Yeah, seeing Mando shoot at the spider. When the horde came and they were running from it, that was probably my favorite moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely exciting. I think that was like that kept the intensity there because it was kind of level for me. I was like anticipating what was going to happen next the whole episode, and then I wasn't expecting that
what was going to happen. I was like, what?
Yeah, so that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I was like, what?
That was certainly a pleasant surprise. And it was different and it looked good, but we'll get into that. We'll get into details. Let's start from the beginning, man. Like, what were your thoughts of the opening of the episode? Like, to recap, it's about, what'd you say, midday, high noon on Tatooine.
Yeah, for me, he's just leaving the spot from episode 1 where they killed the crate dragon.
Yeah,
so
it seemed
they picked right up from that.
I would agree. I think it was about
still fresh, you know.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like to me it was about mid. I guess it was early morning when they left the Tatooine. I mean, not the Tatooine, but the Tusken spot. And my area was good. So once they get to it's like hours pass, maybe a day, maybe a full day passes, but like, there's clearly a passage of time. And I felt like that opening sequence was great. Like that was a well choreographed fight scene with the opening, like the bandits or bounty hunters or whatever they were setting up the trap, the hooligans. Once classic cowboy, once again going back to that cowboy western feel, classic type of
foolish bandits thought they could
the bandits setting trap for the hero. Oh man, she didn't watch the episode. That is hilarious. Yeah, come back later. Go do the homework. Come back with your homework done. So they set the trap up for the Mando, and they spring it.
Rope.
Trapping with a rope. The baby goes flying, yo.
That baby durable though.
It is. Yeah. I'm like, it's probably lightweight, so it ain't have too much.
No bruises.
Any break. Nothing.
Didn't cry.
None of that.
That baby.
It's tough. That's what I rock with the baby because it's tough.
Cannibal. That baby.
It's tough. That baby don't cry.
It's a cannibal. Murderous cannibal. Ruthless. Eating barnacle eggs when it was told not to. That baby got some Sith in it. Telling you.
Yeah, it do got some. It does. Yo, people have been saying that. Like, Josh on the Den was saying that. Yeah, he was like, he wants the baby to go dark side.
That'd be wild to see a dark Yoda.
Yeah,
type,
yeah. Him and Al Schuler. Actually, we do see that in the Clone Wars. Like Yoda fights his dark side in the cave. That was amazing. That was great. Season 6 stuff. You gotta check that out.
He fights his dark side,
bro. He has a moment like
Peter Pan shadow type of thing.
Nah, he fights. It's like the scene in Empire when Luke sees Vader in the cave. Yoda has a very similar moment in the Clone Wars, and it's great.
Oh, it's like a lucid dream situation.
Yeah. He has to confront his dark side. It's wonderful. Great episode. That was a great arc to close out. It's the final arc in season 6 of the Clone Wars, and it's a really good arc.
Okay.
Yeah, so sidetrack derail, back on topic. So yeah, Mando catches himself falling, engages his jetpack, kind of sort of gets his balance, reorientates himself, gets shot in the head like 4 or 5 times. Like
the best car earns its price, baby. For
real, yo. They're making a point to showcase how durable that steel is. Like, and I like that because we don't really see that. At least it didn't seem like it in Clone Wars and Rebels. Like, I mean, they took some glancing blows and stuff like that from blasters, but like in this show, they seem to really dive into how durable that stuff is because the dude's taking some direct hits like that should be fatal.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get into that fight, that whole tussle happens, and they get out of it. Mando kills the assailants. The one holds the child hostage. He negotiates, gives him the jetpack. He takes it, drops the baby, tries to run off, and then Mando engages the jetpack, sends the dude flying up in the sky, drops him. That was ruthless. That was dope though.
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna kill dude. I was like, I don't know how he's gonna kill dude, but I'm like, I know I was like, he's gonna die. I don't know how he's gonna die, but he's about to die. And that was an interesting way to kill him.
I thought he was gonna pull his blaster out and just pop him in the back.
That's what I did too. That's what I did. I was like, that was a stupid negotiation. Like, he's just gonna shoot him in the back, like, and then he just let him run off. And I was like, okay. Then he engaged jetpack. And I was like, that was creative.
Yeah,
it's creative.
Well, technically, would you consider that he killed him, or just the alien didn't hold on?
I mean, it's a mix of both. You know what I'm saying? it's a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? It's like
he killed that. He played with his emotions,
bro.
He killed
it's
that
like here's the thing though. Would you have let go as soon as you felt the jetpack take off?
Yeah, instinctively.
I would have dropped it. So he's stupid.
What were they there in the first place doing?
I'm like, why are you still holding on to this thing? You clearly lost control of it. Like,
where was their ride at?
Oh, but you know what it's like
out of nowhere.
You ever seen
he left on foot, right?
You said what?
after he killed all of them, he left on foot carrying everything.
I think
So how did they
that's
pull up? Is that a plot hole?
how did who the assailants?
Yeah, the bandits, the foolish bandits.
Oh, they probably it's
They got
probably
chopped off.
probably. I don't know how close that was to Mos Eisley. It wasn't that far away because he got there within a few hours, and they probably know that's a well traveled route and a good ambush point because they're more than likely they're local.
So you think they walked? I mean,
Possibly
they would have to have walked because they didn't have a ride.
Yeah,
Part.
yeah. I wouldn't necessarily call that a plot hole. I think it has a part. I think it'll play into the story as to why they don't have any transport and why Mando has to walk back, and it has a lot to do with Boba. Because I think that Boba is tracking him because we don't see Boba in this episode, but given that he had a speeder, we don't know what Slave One, which is Boba's ship, is somewhere on Tatooine. Man, he's been living on Tatooine for a while, and at one point in time, he was the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. So, as far as his ability to track, it's top tier. I think that he's tracking Mando. I think he's trying. He probably doesn't know who he is, I would say, and he's trying to get a feel for what he's doing. He also may be, I don't know, he might be aware of the bounty and the child. He might be trying to possibly trying to capture him.
Opportunity. If he was watching him in that moment, that would have been the time to do it.
Yeah, because he does have ties to the Empire. He's got long-standing ties, Boba does, to the Empire. So I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe Boba is an anti-hero within this story initially, and he's trying to regain favor with the Empire.
No,
and
so. That face he had was the face of like he was over it. He's like, I'm over this Empire shit.
Oh. But he might be over living on Tatooine too. And he's like, if I turn this dude in, like I'm be set. I can go wherever I want to.
Interesting.
Possibly. But yeah.
Oh, I think callback though. Season 1. What was the episode where they went to get the prisoner, and it had Bill Burr in it?
Episode 6.
So you remember when we saw the baby in that little makeshift closet?
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, no way, that's the room he's sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
That's the room he's sleeping.
It is, though.
I saw that. I said, yo, that's the room.
It is, yeah.
He really went to bed in there. I was like, man, okay, Mando. You living tight.
But you think the child got mad when Mando killed the jetpack? I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't see that on the baby. The baby was entertained, man. That baby evil, bro.
Yeah, he got a little dark side in him for real. So we get back to the cantina, Mos Eisley, and no, we don't. We go to the cantina, and I'm in the spaceport. Okay, never mind. I did say it right. I thought in my head I was thinking about the spaceport, but I said cantina. Anyway, we get back to the Mos Eisley cantina, and the mechanic or the shipwright, she's in there playing cards. Sabak is the game with the ant alien.
Yeah, man, I like that
creature
part.
That didn't speak English. It was wonderful.
Keep me in the Star Wars galaxy, man. I don't
want to say
of home.
They must have been hearing you because they started adding. They added 2 different alien languages into the story, into this episode,
and I appreciate that.
Watch it with the subs. He growls. You mean growls?
Watch it.
Growls at him.
Growl.
Oh. Okay. All right. Now you might have a point there. Okay. But no. So yeah. So she's playing cards. He's got the Mandalorian armor, and she's like, I thought you came to find the Mandalorian. You ended up killing him. Like, how's that work out? Or whatever she said. And it's like, nah, it wasn't the Mandalorian. I just bought it off the dude. It's like, wow, how much that cost you? It's like, I had to kill a crate dragon. She's like, that's it. Man, I like her. I do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's cool. I like her.
Yeah, I like her.
She's like right on the edge, but like she knows how to rope because like
She
it
seems
can.
like she's just crazy enough to be living out in space. You
Right.
know.
She seems like if I were to find a human on Tatooine, like she would fit the bill. Because I don't know why you're living on a desert planet with all those other planets to choose from. It's not like Anakin where you're a slave and you don't really have a choice. You kind of chose your life. You out here on this desert planet, so you got to have something a little quirky about you to to do that. But anywho, um, the ant says that it has, because I don't know what the name of the character is. I didn't even know they had. That's a brand new species as far as I'm concerned into the Star Wars universe. Says it knows where it can find where the Mandalorian can find a covert, and if he sponsored him on the bet that he would tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Mando's like, all right, cool, I'll spot you. He spots him, and it loses, and the ant tells him anyway, but he has to deliver some cargo. The contact will be at the spaceport waiting for him. Goes to the spaceport, and we get Frog Lady, another new species with the eggs. She's got to transport her her spawn. Is that what she called it? I believe.
Yeah, her eggs.
Yeah.
Spawn. I think she did refer to it as spawn though.
And I thought about it. So after later in the episode when they're on the ice planet and she's trying to warm up the eggs, I was like, oh, that's why she was on Tatooine. That kind of makes sense. Desert planet, heat, incubate the eggs easily. Makes sense to me. It's doing that. Oh, OG Coop was good. Coop Daddy Yoda, excuse me.
Spidey's gotta go.
Spidey's gotta go. Yeah, that was like that was once again totally unexpected scene, and it for me paid off that it happened. It elevated the quality of the episode for me. But we'll get into that when we get there. So they negotiate the I think she says that her planet that she's trying to get to is like one system over, but they can't go into hyperspace, which I think is also a plot device for Boba, also allowing him some time to catch up. Because I think we were talking about this off air, because we were both kind of sort of upset that we didn't see Boba in this episode, but I think we both realized that this episode is setting up a lot of stuff for later, and I think part of it, the speeder being destroyed and them having to walk to Mos Eisley, gives Boba time to catch up to them and at least see where he went, see what spaceport he went to get his ship and who he talked to, which means he can go to old girl, get information like who this, yada yada yada, where's he going, and then not being able to travel in hyperspace means that Boba can get Slave One, get to the planet, hyperspace over real quick, and be waiting on him like he was when he captured Han Solo. Because when he figured out that Han, I think he knew that Han had a contact on Cloud City. He knew that Han knew Lando, and that's more than likely where Han was going. And he got to Cloud City before Han did. Call the Empire, set everything up. So I think he'll use the same tactic for the Mandalorian. He also may know that there's a covert on that planet. I think
interesting.
Who's hungry? Man, y'all into these spiders. We gotta get to these spiders. We gotta get to these spiders.
That was the highlight of the episode.
It was.
That's really, really happened.
Yeah, so we get there, we get into outer space, they're headed towards the planet, they get confronted by some
Pulled over
two.
by the cops.
Get pulled over by the police. Some New Republic patrol is going through, and that's another thing. Like if they were traveling in hyperspace, that wouldn't happen because they don't have any interdictors, which would have been able to pull them out of hyperspace, so they could have easily gotten to the planet without any of that happening. Normally, just in Star Wars lore, usually only pirates travel sublight. Because they can sit outside of hyperlanes and wait for transports to drop out of hyperspace and intercept it. That's kind of how they operate. So patrols usually try to monitor the areas right outside of a hyperlane for that reason, which is probably why those X-Wings are out there. So yeah, probably not a good look. That was a cool flight sequence. I'm not gonna lie to you. When they go to the planet, and they're flying through.
He just did the dead drop.
He did the dead drop and the engine sounded so cool, yo. I was like, I don't know what they mixed to get that sound, but that was dope. I'm like, I like that. I need to hear that more.
Yeah.
I think it was like screaming. I was like, ooh, what is that? It sounded like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari engine mixed with something.
I bet they had some off the wall.
Oh yeah, no. If you ever look at like behind the scenes footage of them mixing the sounds for Star Wars, bro, they be getting some crazy stuff. It's crazy. I'm like, bro, these dudes are having nothing but fun trying to come up with these weird ass sounds. Excuse my language.
Flicking quarters.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy stuff.
Yeah. Like R2-D2 is like a baby and like a I don't know. I think a dog, a puppy. It's like they mix like the like a puppy and a baby, and that's how they got R2 sound. I'm like, that is wild.
Is that like for legit what they did?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, like if it's Tim Burt is the one, basically the architect for all the sounds of Star Wars, because he's the one that came up with all the sounds for A New Hope. So he created all the sounds that you hear in the original trilogy, like all of the different, like the blasters, like all of that stuff. He came up with. I think he's still working at Lucasfilm or Industrial Light and Magic. But anyway, ship crashes, falls below. It crashes on top of a cave. The ice gives away. Ship falls below the cave, or inside the cave. And then we get a cool moment with the frog lady, because they realize that they can't speak each other's language. So she gets creative, which I thought was a great decision. Instead of making this throwaway character, make her resourceful and creative. So she sees the droid from episode 6, rewires it to turn it into a translator, and it's basically like using that to communicate to Mando. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, one thing that the frog did, she reminded me of that old show Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, wow. Okay. But yeah. And I like the expressions, like I think when they did the free fall, when he cut the engine.
Yeah.
She reacted. If you caught it, if you didn't go back and see it, her face. Her face.
I'm gonna have to go back.
Body language when it was in free fall, it was funny.
No, I'm gonna have to go back and check that out.
She really acted like if you didn't speak the language of the pilot and you were just in there, she was believable.
Yo, have you seen that video of the bus driver I guess somewhere in Asia, like going high speed down the mountain? Huh?
I saw that bus driver. You remember that one?
The what?
You going to jail now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a video of like this dude. He's going full speed down the side of a mountain, and he's whipping this bus. Like, I mean, the dude's a professional. Like, he knows what he's doing. But all the people on the bus are like screaming, losing their mind. Like, it's hilarious. Like, it's this one lady that's screaming at the top of her lungs, like, bro, she's gonna have an aneurysm. That's how loud she's screaming. Like, it's like, it's a great. I'm gonna send that to you because it's funny just to hear the reactions. But this dude, he's got it under control. But that's what that free fall reminded me of. So the child comes out. The Mando's out trying to do repairs to the ship. The child comes out. Oh, we missed it. Child eats the egg, which was great. Yeah. That was hilarious.
Yeah, key moments, character trait right there. Baby's a cannibal.
Kid just can't. Well, he's not a cannibal. He's a carnivore.
Cannibal.
That's not a cannibal. He's not. He's a carnivore. Clearly.
He got some,
we ain't seen him eat some greens or anything healthy other than some frogs, eggs.
He might get the nickname Hannibal in a few years.
But hey, yo, you know what? It makes sense though, because Yoda's teeth are sharp. You ever notice that? Like they're all like basically they're all canine teeth. So they're apparently carnivorous.
Yeah.
Telltale sign right there.
Telltale. But it's so small. It's so small. What could they eat this like?
Hey man.
Hey,
you remember
like predator teeth?
You remember in what was it? The Lost World?
Yeah, those small things.
Them little small, bruh. All right, let them gang up on you. It's over for you. I got a gang baby Yodas.
Well, maybe they use the Force to kill their prey.
Bruh, exactly. That's another thing.
Oh, that's wild. It's choking.
Imagine they just like in like the underbrush, just like blended in. All of a sudden, you just start getting Force choke. You drop, and then you get a bunch of baby Yodas just come flying out, eating you. That's a horrible way to die.
It's a dark side move. Isn't it?
Absolutely, super dark side.
Yo, so that baby might be Sith.
That's not how the Force works. And the words of Han Solo. That's like his best line in the whole sequel trilogy. But we're not gonna get into that.
That's not how it works. Finn's like, we could use the Force. I was like, that's not how it works.
Oh god. Oh, bro, I think everybody collectively when he said that, like, just sat back in their chair and rubbed the forehead. Like, it's like, why would you say that?
Yeah, that was probably top 3 moment of that whole trilogy.
It was like easily. It's easily top 3. Okay. Excited. Yeah, he did. Apparently, Mando doesn't feed the child enough. That's what we've gathered throughout these first 2 seasons, because it's always eaten when it shouldn't be. It'll eat anything.
Baby,
So that was a cool. So and yeah. So
maybe that's a sign it's growing. It needs more food.
It is. It's probably teething. It might be teething. I don't know, man. It might be, yo, because it took the knob. It was chewing on that. Like it might be teething. Probably that's why he Force choked Kara, because he just teeth growing. It was painful. He was angry. He just got angry and just choked her with the Force, because you do got to tap into them negative emotions to use the dark side of the Force.
Terrible twos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the synergy of the Force. That's the light side. The light side is kind of like just in everyday living. Like the dark side is more predatory. So like a lot of times, I'm going off on a tangent. Sorry. Here, let's talk about the Force real quick. Segue. The dark side of the Force is kind of like it's the fight instinct. Light side is the flight instinct. Dark side is the fight. So usually it should be the last resort. But anytime you kill, anytime you do anything bad, negative, you tap into the dark side of the Force. Anytime you like lean into those negative emotions like anger, hate, all that stuff, like you tapping into the dark side of the Force. Which is why I like in the Jedi code would stress, serenity and controlling your emotions. But they kind of took it a little too far, went too far off the into the extreme where they became somewhat, not even somewhat, very compassionate, just like almost robotic. Which is what we see in the prequels. Like those Jedi are like robots almost, like they almost soulless. Their commitment to being non-emotive. Qui-Gon was the only one that kind of knew how to balance his emotion to not let his emotions control him, but to also be compassionate and to be understanding and to value life, which is why he would have been the better mentor for Anakin over Obi-Wan, and definitely Palpatine, because Palpatine also sees that in Anakin and is like, well, I'm going to reinforce all of your
susceptible emotions.
No, not even. But he never believed the Jedi Order fully accepted him because they didn't want him to be a Jedi in the first place. They never wanted Qui-Gon to train him. So from jump, he didn't believe that the Jedi really supported him being there. And Palpatine reinforced that by basically telling him, "No, they trust you. Like, why wouldn't they trust you? You're strong. You're very powerful. You're all of this." And whole time knowing, like, no, they don't. They don't trust you. Which, like, he didn't need that in his ear. He needed Qui-Gon going, like, "Hey, bro, don't worry about them. Like, here, we gonna run off and do these missions, and I'm gonna show you what it's like to really be a Jedi."
Yeah, Obi-Wan should have died in that fight.
Or Qui-Gon should have lived,
Obi should have died, and that's my final
Obi-Wan.
take on that. But I understand why he had to die. If he died, there'd be no Skywalker story. Or if he lived, there would be no Skywalker story.
It would be different.
Yeah.
It would it would just been different.
Skywalker story as we know it would be.
Yep. It'd been different. It'd been a different story.
Yeah.
Different story. But anyway, let's get back onto the Mandalorian episode. We get to the hot tub, the hot spring in the cave.
Frog is in there chilling
with the eggs, letting the eggs heat up, getting warm, and then all of these pods, or I thought they were ice formations at first, but then like as the camera began to pan, I was like, that's not I'm like, are those rocks? Like, what are those?
Yeah, but that frog is super, it's got to be really intelligent because it knew how to pick apart the robot, but then also it was able to pick up on a hot spring in the cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Have some type of sense or ability. You said go to hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can't tell, Obi-Wan is his favorite character in Star Wars.
I'm not Team Obi. He's a front. He's a fraud.
I actually know what I'll say. Obi-Wan is probably one of his favorite characters just in general.
Hindsight, creativity. That's all he got. That's all he got.
He's a fraud. His character is nothing.
Moving right along.
I like Obi-Wan's arc, so I strongly disagree. Because in many ways his arc and Luke's are very similar, but we'll that's a conversation for another day. Right. So the Mandalorian child find the frog and the eggs in the hot spring warming up. The child tries to eat another egg right in front of the mall. Mandalorian is like, "What are you doing?" Puts it down, heads off to these
as smart
weird
as that frog is, she didn't notice that them babies was getting lower in numbers.
Yeah, I guess. But then I don't know. Maybe they don't.
That made me feel like that was just the thing to have the child do something quirky and silly throughout the episode. Because if it really mattered, she would have, like the mother would have knew her egg missing.
Yeah, it would have. We don't know how attached they are to each of the individuals. Because my point, like with sea turtles, like they lay the eggs on the beach.
Yeah,
Airman
and
saying they out.
whoever
So
lives.
they're like, hey man, power to you.
Yeah,
Peace.
it was funny how she whipped her tongue out to get dressed. She pulled that thing out with the quickness. It's like, yo, they really did that.
Oh man, I'm mad you picked up on that.
Yeah,
That's what
that
the
tongue. She saw them spiders. She said,
hey, I feel it though. Shoot.
yeah,
Oh, so but the crazy thing was when the child opened up the egg and pulled out like little embryo and ate it, like I recognized what it was because it's the species we've seen in Rebels. Like it's the first time we see it. It's always once again Dave Filoni bringing stuff in from the other source material
full
into the
connections.
story, making connections, making everything connect because we like connections. We like synergy and we like
Mm-hmm.
a cohesive story and a narrative that feels like it's all part of the same universe. You know, it's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
It's very gumbo-ish.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, man.
He went Jamaican. Oh man.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh gosh. So yeah, then all of a sudden it's like they sensed that he ate one of the spiders and they got up. All of a sudden, all of them started hatching. We see spiders coming out from like different parts of the cave, and like the big one just came. It was what did that remind me of? What's that sci-fi movie where they go to that planet? I think they fight arachnids on a planet.
Arachnophobia.
No, it's not arachnophobia, but it's like they go
Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Yeah, because remember when they get to the planet and like it's the cave. That's what that scene reminded me of, yo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mother. Yeah, the legs of the mother spider definitely reminded. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the big ones, like that's what they reminded me. And then oh yeah, then they start running. This was hilarious. Like
she
when
was running on 2 feet, she was like, "This ain't cutting it." He go to full hot mode.
Hey, and then she started. I mean, she hauled too. Like she was eating ground. Like she just covering ground.
Looked like that was like a real hop. Like
It
somebody
did.
was hopping.
It
Legit,
did.
like it wasn't CGI. Someone was hopping.
It did, man. And listen, if that wasn't live action, like if they animated the heck out of that scene, if that was animated, and it probably was like CG, just a blend of both. But yeah, that was great. I thought it was. That's what made me realize that she was a frog. I was like, oh, okay, it is a frog species. I knew it was like a reptile, but I'm like, I don't know what type of reptile this is. Because it kind of looked like the lizard. And it also kind of looked like what's the character from Dragon Ball Z? Was it Deborah?
From the Ginyu Force?
Yeah, the one that kept transforming.
Oh yeah.
Because it had the pretty form, and then all of a sudden, like as it got more powerful, like it just got ugly, and then eventually just turned into a frog.
Yeah, maybe.
Is Deborah? I think it was Deborah. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know. Right knows. You know what I'm talking about. He probably just fought it on his Dragon Ball Z playthrough.
Ginyu Force. Yeah, I think it was. Oh man.
Look up the lady.
Yeah.
Proud. See, like this is where this dude, the stuff he finds on the internet.
You can find anything. It was okay. So
yeah, it is
Raccoon, Birder, Cheese, Goldo, Captain Ginyu. Which one?
Zabora.
Zabora? No, Zabora was the prince one, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't see Zabora.
Type in Zabora though. That they might not have been part of the Ginyu Force.
Is that who you thinking about?
Huh?
It was the small green one though. The small green dude. That's who you're thinking about. He looked like a little toad. He was green. Yeah, he was green. Here, I'm gonna send you this.
I thought it was red. Oh, it was green. Yeah.
Now the dude is red. Now when he levels up, he started to look like a toad in his final form.
Nah, it was the green one. It was the green one because the green one, like, it had like this very like feminine face, but they're like very musculature, like just muscular. And then like as it began to power up, all of a sudden, it like started turning more and more into like Godzilla.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, they wasn't. Zabora wasn't part of Ginyu.
Yeah.
Geico. But yeah. So the horde, the zombie horde spiders are in hot pursuit. Mandalorian fries a good number of them in the cave, buying them time. They get into the ship. They're pouring in. They make it all the way up to the main cockpit, and they try to close the doors. I think a few of them get through, and then the frog lady pulls out a pistol, opens fire. She's a pretty good shot too. All right, very, very resourceful, as you pointed out earlier. And then save Mando's life, save the child, and then Mando got up, fried the spiders at the door, allowing it to close. And then by this time, the big spider had caught up with them. It came crashing through like the ceiling, the roof of the cave. And at this point, they're surrounded, and all of a sudden we see some lights, and then all of a sudden we see some red blaster fire going off, and I'm like, is that Boba?
Yeah. I was like, is this Boba?
I'm like, is it Boba? Did Boba just pull up, guns blazing like that? Because I'm like, they really trying to do this, huh? And then turns out it was the X-Wings. They come back.
Yeah, the cops came back.
Found them. He's part of Frieza security. Yeah, see, it's all the same. Everybody was under Frieza's payroll.
Yeah, but the green dude you had in mind, his name was Goldo or Gildo.
Nah, I'm thinking about Zabora. No, it's Zarbon. It's Zarbon. It's not Zabora. It's Zarbon.
So Zarbon wasn't green. He was the pink dude. The feminine with the feminine features, the long hair and all that.
Yeah, it's green though. I'm looking at it.
Oh, you talking about his final form? His final form is green, I think.
Nope, from start to finish.
But Zarbon is pink, bro. He's got the white hair.
It's green, all green, and it's got light green skin.
Oh, that dude. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Okay. That's blue.
Bro. Well, all right, man. Colorblind. Get your eyes tested. Welcome back. We're like talking about we're talking about the spiders now. Well, we just finished talking about the spiders. So they pull up, the X-Wings pull up, my man Dave Filoni, and then we get a new pilot.
That was Dave Filoni?
He was one of the pilots. You don't see him. You don't see him much. But the one with the white peppered beard is not Dave Filoni. That is another actor. That's in another series that people knew that I hadn't seen before. It's not Star Wars. It's something. He's a somewhat popular actor apparently. At least the spiders weren't black. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, no, he's not. He's not a parent. He didn't sign up.
Yeah, I mean, you see where he has him sleeping. They're sleeping in a closet. That is not.
I mean, look, bruh, but if we be honest, like I ain't even seen baby cry. Like the child is built for this, as far as I'm concerned. He's built for this lifestyle.
Child is definitely along for the ride.
Yeah, the child is like durable. The child is like, we have not seen it cry in the series. It's had multiple guns pointed at it. It's been in multiple confrontations. It's been through all types of stuff like that. It's been through a lot. Plus, it's 50 years old, so it's not like it's new to anything. It's experienced more of life than I have. But yeah, like I don't. It's not a child. It's not a child. It's like just a slowly maturing adult.
That's a child.
Slowly maturing. So, like,
child,
I mean, think about
it's been a 2-year-old for 50 years.
Basically.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, anything that can force choke you, or like, I'm like, all right, how much of a child is it?
Yeah, I mean, a 2-year-old could shoot you.
I mean, you get shot at by a 2-year-old, like, what happens? Is it intentional? Like, I mean, intentional too. Like, it's not like, oh, I accidentally used like force choke. Like, it meant to do that. Like, and there's a difference between someone that's been here for like 2 years and someone that has been here for 50. Like, I don't care. Like, maturation wise, that's not an excuse. Like, it's been here 50 years. It's lived a long time. It knows better. It knows better. Plus, if it's going to become a Jedi or Force user, like, they start training young.
That's the thing, though. Like, what is the path for this child? We still don't know.
That is true. I still feel firmly that the path for the child is with Ahsoka. That's just mine. I mean, that's like, to me, the most logical path, because Ahsoka is an alien. We don't know how long her species lives. They can make it like a couple hundred years, and she would be around long enough to mother the child until it was old enough to be, well, actually right now it's old enough to begin training as a Jedi. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why Yoda is so proficient, because by the time he was of age to begin, like, training as a Jedi, like, if you had what would you say, 40 some years, 50 years, no, but let's say 40 years to like start to train in the ways of the Force and learn the ways of the Jedi. By the time it's 100, which would be like 10 for us, like, it's already like at master level with a skill and proficiency. So it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, the child is gonna be something if it gets trained in the ways of Ahsoka.
Yeah, because I don't think, well, one, Ahsoka's not a Jedi, so unless they're going to change that in the series, she's just sort of like this Force sage. So the rumor is that she's got the blue lightsabers from the Clone Wars, which would be a retcon, because in Rebels she has the white sabers, which I would much rather her have, because I like those white lightsabers. And which is cool. Do you know how you turn a lightsaber crystal white?
I feel like you mentioned this before. You crush something or make something bleed. You bleed a crystal, right?
You're close. He was listening a little bit. So naturally, lightsaber crystals come in, different colors. Like, red is not a natural lightsaber crystal.
That's the one you bleed.
that's the one you bleed. So the Sith have a ritual where in order to turn their lightsabers red, it's like the last part of their initiation. The Sith, like the lightsaber crystals are sentient, so like they can sense other force sensitive beings, and any force sensitive being that aligns with the crystal, it will basically show itself to that entity, which is why each lightsaber crystal is unique to the Jedi, because the crystal calls to the Jedi. Like there's a connection between that Jedi and that lightsaber crystal. So, and they also have a preference for light side leaning individuals, which is why only Jedi usually find the kyber crystals in the first place. What will happen is a Sith will encounter a Jedi, it will kill the Jedi, take its lightsaber, and take the kyber from out of the lightsaber, and then pour their anger and hatred and frustration into the lightsaber, literally torture the crystal until it bleeds, and when it bleeds, turns red, and that's how they get the red blade in their lightsaber, which I think it's cool. Like, I'm sorry, like it's better than what they had in EU, because in the EU, like they were like synthetic crystals, they weren't real kyber crystals, they were man-made crystals. Like the Sith would just make their own kyber crystal. I think that this process is a whole lot cooler.
Yeah.
So
this is more of a spiritual process almost.
Right. And in the Vader comic, we see Darth Vader do that. Like he has to go hunt down a Jedi. He kills this Jedi, and then he takes his lightsaber, removes the crystal, and then he's got to concentrate all of his anger and his hatred and his frustration into the crystal until it bleeds, and then that's how he gets his red lightsaber crystal, and he crafts a new lightsaber, and that's the iconic red blade that we see in A New Hope. Now,
didn't he have a red? Okay, never mind.
So in Revenge, like his lightsaber is still blue, and he uses that for
I was thinking in the time between that and so that happened between 3 and Rebels.
Yeah, this is the first mission that Palpatine sends Vader on after he's in the suit. It's like almost immediately after the purge. It's like a few weeks into it. Like it's very early on. And in the comic, he's fighting with his with a what lightsaber? No, it's another lightsaber that he finds in the archives. It's not his because Obi-Wan has his. So yeah, and then in order to turn the lightsaber crystal white, you take one of those red crystals and you heal it. So you pour all of your light side, basically
sing some R&B.
It's like it's like force therapy.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah, it's force therapy, and then as it heals, it turns back to its natural state of just a clear crystal, and then when it is ignited, it turns white, and that's how you get a white lightsaber crystal. So it's very rare because you got to have a crystal that's been bled.
So that's interesting. You would have to find a Sith, basically.
Yes, which she does. She is actually Ahsoka is confronted during the purge by a Inquisitor, and the double-bladed lightsabers have 2 crystals at either hilt. So she fights that Force user using nothing but the Force because she doesn't have her lightsabers with her. Like she buried her lightsabers. So she gets into a fight. Yeah, she just used the Force and just beat the dude with the Force. And she takes the lightsaber crystals part with the lightsaber. She takes the crystals out. She heals them, and they turn white. And then she builds her 2 white lightsaber blades that we see in Rebels. I'm like, nah, I need those lightsabers in this series. Like if she pulls out a lightsaber, those are the ones I want to see.
Yeah, they need to keep the white sabers then, because that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a fire concept to me.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
not red bone. Stay woke. Oh man.
Nah, that's pretty cool though. So a white lightsaber is like a visual representation of a defeated Sith.
Basically,
So
yeah.
the more white sabers, the less Sith. Almost.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
almost.
it's interesting.
Yeah, almost. That's like uh I like that. I just love that concept. Like the bleeding of the crystal and the purification of the crystal. Like I love that. Um and also as Jedi get more proficient in the force, because as I said earlier, like the lightsaber crystal calls out to the Jedi through the force and then they go find it. So like um I want to say that Mace, and I might be mixing up EU and Legends and current canon, but if I'm not mistaken, um the Mace had a blue or a green lightsaber at first, and then once he mastered Vapad, which is I think that's the 8th lightsaber form. It's either 7 or 8. It's the last form. It's like dark.
You got me in deep waters right now, Lord God.
Yes. So it's like 7 forms of lightsaber combat, and the 7th form is usually that's the Sith form because it requires you to tap into your like the dark side to use it. But he mastered his darkness and learned how to channel it to um and like without becoming like compromised, I guess, or like he learned how to channel his darkness without letting it overtake him. And I think once that happened, I can't remember if this was in the current or if this was in EU, but that's when the purple crystal called out to him, and he goes to Elam and he finds it, and then he puts it in his lightsaber, and then he has a purple blade. That was cool. But I think that maybe currently in the Disney canon, I think he just always had a purple one. It was very unique to him and his skills and ability. I think that backstory, he still learns all 7 forms of lightsaber combat. So yeah. Alice, how is the dark saber made? That is a great question. We do not know what the dark saber blade is made of.
We know it's not a kyber crystal.
It is a kyber crystal, but we just don't know how it's created. Is that like a natural color, or is that like something?
What's your hypothesis?
Different.
If red
I heard
is
a great
made from
hypothesis.
bleeding, and if white is made from purification, then the black saber is made from
What I would like it to be is that all right, so in the EU, the crate dragon, the pearl that we see, so in episode 1, I talked about it last episode, we see the Tusken Raiders hoist that pearl from the crate dragon up in the air as a trophy. In the EU, those pearls contain kyber crystals, and you could use those to build a unique lightsaber crystal. What I would like is the mythosaur that's native, that skull that you see on the Mandalorian crest, that infamous like
the one he fought in the season 1.
No, that's a crate. We hadn't seen a mythosaur. Like it's basically the emblem for Mandalore. Let me pull that up real quick.
Oh, okay. What was the name of that beast in season 1? He fought. He got his insignia for. Looked like a mammoth.
Mudhorn.
Okay, Mudhorn.
That's the Mudhorn. This thing. Where am I? Oop, wrong screen. This.
That's the mythosaur.
Yeah, that's the mythosaur. Native to Mandalore. What I would like is if the Darksaber, since that was crafted by Tar Vizsla, if it has something to do with the mythosaur, like if the mythosaur has like a pearl or something of that nature, and it contains like a dark kyber crystal, and he uses that to in the construction of his lightsaber, because that would be cool. I think that would be just a wonderful lore element, because the mythosaur is a, you know, it's tied closely to the culture of Mandalore, dating back to the ancient times.
Are there any of those left?
As far as I think, they've all been hunted to extinction. Most of the animals on Mandalore are extinct. Like Mandalore is actually like a barren wasteland. It's the earth has been scorched by just years of war, nonstop war, and most of like they all live in domes on the planet Mandalore. Like I forget the name of the main city, the capital city. But they just have these habitable domes on their planet, and that's kind of where all the Mandalorians lived during before the purge. And then you got Concord, the moon of Concord, which is one of the ancestral homes of the Mandalorians. You got the protectors of Concord Dawn, which that's a sector of Mandalorians where, as a matter of fact, Jango Fett is allegedly born on Concord, the moon of Concord, which is a territory. So he does have connections to. So see.
So do you think the dark saber will be come from that crate dragon pearl?
It could possibly come from the crate dragon. That would be cool, but I would like it to be from the mythosaur.
So but there would have to be some type of mythosaur pop up for that to happen.
Unless they probably were around when Tar Vizsla constructed that lightsaber, because Tar Vizsla is like thousands of years old. Like this is from the old Republic when he made this lightsaber. I mean, this would have been before Mandalore's surface was destroyed by war, because this probably would have happened during the Great Sith Wars, because that's when the galaxy was basically engulfed in conflict, before at the time, I'm sorry, it was just the Republic, and then the Sith Empire, and then the Republic collapsed. The Sith Empire took control of the galaxy. The remnant Jedi and Republic forces overthrew the Sith eventually, and then they reestablished the Galactic Republic, and that is like 1,000 years, I want to say, before. Yeah, 1,000 years before Phantom Menace. So yeah, but that was a very turbulent time in the galactic history. It was constant war, constant infighting. The Sith Empire was actually a prominent force. It was like one of the main factions in the galaxy. The galaxy at that point in time was very fragmented. You've got the Hutt Empire, you've got the Mandalorians, you've got the Republic, you've got the Sith Empire. The Chiss Ascendancy is there. They work closely with the Sith Empire. So like, it's a more interesting, to me, that's a more interesting time. Like, it's not as polarized as the galaxy that we've continued to see. Like, you got all these different factions vying for power and control of the galaxy. That makes it a little bit more complex and interesting.
Yeah, that's on some Game of Thrones tag.
Yeah. That's why the Old Republic is my favorite period, because it's just, there's so many different, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, that's interesting. Alice, let us know what your hypothesis is for how a dark saber is made, or anybody, if you want to put that in the comments.
Yeah,
So the dark is not like the dark saber. That's not one of the natural colors of the kyber crystal.
We don't.
Is that right?
It hasn't been explained. It's still a mystery.
Okay.
Now, the Darksaber is something that does appear in both the EU and current canon, so maybe there's an explanation that I'm unaware of in Legends. Let me go to that.
Oh, let's see what. It's
No.
made from a special and rare black kyber crystal.
Yeah, but it doesn't say where it's from.
Okay, so it is a kyber crystal. It's just a
Yeah.
rare type of kyber crystal.
Yeah. Like all lightsaber crystals is going to be made of kyber. That's just going to be the common denominator. It's just a matter of the origin of the kyber crystal. Like so,
Okay,
Ilum was a popular location.
But it's different from
Jeddah.
the red and the white because it had to go through a process for it to get turned
What, the
red or turned
Darksaber?
white. No, for
Oh,
a red or a white kyber crystal.
Right. So the
dark,
it's a natural crystal. Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. You are correct.
They play DMX to a white saber. That's funny. Money, that's hilarious. I was thinking like Stomp the Yard or something. You got to put the Saber on stage with the crew. Coop Daddy Yoda, Coop Mama Yoda.
Former apprentice. But okay, yeah. So we covered the episode. Dove into some lore.
Yeah, he pulls out of the planet. His ship tore up.
Now, I do want to point out before we close that if you go back and watch that first trailer for The Mandalorian or the second one, honestly, both of them, they have the same footage. We've seen half of the trailer so far within the first two episodes. We see shots of the desert planet. We see the cloud chase scene, which happens in this episode. And then the ice planet is also this episode. The next thing is the water world, which is where I believe the passenger is headed.
Yeah, they're gonna have Kevin Costner in that episode.
Oh man. This is also where Sasha Banks pops up. She makes an appearance on the White Planet, which I believe is going to be the next episode continuation of this journey. And as I've stated, the rumor is that Sasha Banks is playing Sabine Wren, who is a Mandalorian. I think that it will be interesting to see if that is the case, because as I said, the Wren family has connections to the Vizslas, because Clan Wren serves House Vizsla, and House Vizsla is the architect. That is Tar Vizsla is House Vizsla, who made the Darksaber in the first place. So her being tied into this story is going to make things interesting, because she knows the legacy of the Darksaber. She wielded it for a time. She gave it to Bo-Katan, who's the last person we saw wield that saber before Moff Gideon. So I'm hoping that she is playing Ren. I hope that rumor is true, because just like, once again, like those tie-ins to all the other material, making sure everything is connected, making the galaxy feel whole, making this story feel more grand. But yeah, let's see, what do you say? I have no idea. Okay, but you love our theory, your theory.
Your I think she's talking
my
to
theory.
Your theory, Coop, with the ancient mammoths.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I think that I would I just wanted to have some sort of like some sort of cool ancestral, significance to Mandalore, like something that's unique, since that is the Mandalore. I mean, the Darksaber is Excalibur in many ways for Mandalore. Like, he who wields the sword rules all of Mandalore. Like, you hold the title Mandalore. That's the highest title You are the leader of all the houses, who rule all clans. So you're the uniter. So that's you're King Arthur, basically, if you wield that sword. So it should have some historical significance to Mandalore, in my opinion. If I'm writing that story, the Darksaber being unique to Mandalore makes sense to me. It can, of course, the crystal can still be Kyber, but like have it, maybe it's from Concord, or maybe it's native. There's a vein of Kyber crystals that are only found on Mandalore that have the the black crystals. I don't know, something, but just make it native to Mandalore. The tie-in with the mythosaur would just be great because it ties into the legacy of that creature.
Yeah, it has to be ingested and go through the intestinal tract of the mythosaur and come out the other end like the beans, them coffee beans.
Yeah. So that's how Mandalore the first conquered Mandalore was he tamed one of the mythosaurs, and then that gained him the respect of all of the other clans and houses of Mandalore, and they bow to him for that. So like that's a tie-in from the EU. I don't know if that's going to be significant in this Disney era of canon. Hope so. They've already made the mythosaur canon, so we'll see. But
yeah,
I think we can call it here. We're an hour 11 in.
Yeah, we can call it.
Absolutely. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, like, favorite, comment, and share these videos with your friends. We got a lot of videos on this channel. Make sure you go check out everything that we got. Got a live stream tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is called The Cookout. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of just nerdy things. Just I don't know. Tomorrow's episode might be kind of freeform because I don't have any set topics right now. Been kind of preoccupied by other things going on in the news, but I know some things happen in the world. We might just have like a open community discussion. We just kick back and chill with y'all.
I've been unplugged mostly.
I have been too, man. Like I can't. It's hard just to kind of go off into fantasy while got all this going on, all the counting.
This made it easy for me because I'm watching Naruto, and it's been
Naruto will definitely keep you occupied.
Naruto is the greatest.
Yeah,
just
man.
Finish that pain arc. Oh, it's good.
Tell the people about it.
Stuff.
Hey, man, let's talk. Maybe we just talk about Naruto tomorrow.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
We can't talk past the pain arc.
All right, cool.
You have any spoilers for your boy?
Well, just make sure you let him know that, because you never know. You start dropping stuff in there, but yeah,
spite me for Obi-Wan slander.
Oh yeah, you see how that happened. He might just do it out of spite. You're right. But thank you all once again for joining us tonight. I'm Coop. It's JBM here. Oh, wait, where you at? I gotta point this way. Over here. And as I always say, peace, love, blessings, and may the force be with you always.
Peace. Good night.
Man.
We still live.
Is it still closing? It's so awkward.
Button.
I did hit the button.